Tom Brinegar is the Vice President and Chief Financial Officer at Peak Resources. Tom, think about yourself when you were 16. When you look back at yourself, working on a tree farm as a high school student, did you ever envision yourself as this entrepreneur who would be owning an IT solutions company?
I have to be honest with you. I don't think that was necessarily in my plans. But I had the opportunity to, not only through what I did from an education perspective, but really from a work experience perspective, and really see what people were doing in the industry, and had the confidence to say, I think, we can start our own business and do this work ourselves and build a company. And I had some great mentors that really helped me with that thought process.
So let's go back to those high school times. Think about when you were in high school and, going to school every day, going to high school. What is one skill that you learned in high school, or a couple of skills that you apply every day?
Yeah, I was definitely at that time, I was really focused on, the hard skills, and those are important. Math, finance, all of those things that I learned were extremely valuable. But I would say, reflecting upon it, I really think that the ability to work, with a team was probably the most valuable skill that I was able to learn from my education.
Wow. So when we think about your role now, you're the vice president and the chief financial officer. Many of us probably don't really have any insights to what that looks like and sounds like on a day-to-day basis. So I'm wondering, you can kind of explain to us, what do you actually do? And then how does that relate back to some of those skills that you learned at a very young age?
Yeah, I think that's a really important question. I think there's a couple factors there. Part of my work is external. So we need money to run our business. And so I work with a variety of banking relationships. So if you go back and you look at those two skill sets that we talked about, relationship building or teamwork, and then really being skilled at finance, you have to combine those two things to really make us successful in that area. And then really internally working with my team, finding what they're good at, maybe what they're not good at, and really working with them to utilize their skills as best they can, and growing those folks. So proud to say that I have people on my team that have been there for 20 years, which is, extremely valuable to our business.
It's absolutely. And you think about that idea of, you're really combining two different skill sets. You have that content knowledge, that deep understanding of finance, but you also have honed your ability to create teams and foster relationships, not only with people within your own company, but external partners as well. So take us right into Peak Resources. Tell us a little bit about the company, and how do you serve, the community? What do you do?
Sure. So our clients, what we're really trying to do is solve their technology problems. So take, for example, we work a lot in healthcare. So hospitals, they have patients coming in, and their ability to look up their history and look up that history quickly is really important, because they may be having a health condition that's critical. And so, we help craft solutions for that hospital that enable them to serve their patients as quickly, efficiently, and probably, obviously most importantly, as most helpful as they can be, so they can solve their health issues.
So if someone's interested in working at a company like Peak Resources, where you are obviously working on teams and collaborating, you're working with external partners, your external partners represent a variety of businesses, perhaps healthcare, and you also have to have this ability to really communicate with others.
Right.
When you're hiring employees, what are you looking for? What does that look like and sound like?
Yeah, it's they definitely need to be aligned with our vision, and really to be, I think you nailed it, they have to have this great skill set which enables them to be an entrepreneur. I need people that are able to solve problems on their own, work with a team to come up with the best solution for that hospital client, for them to hire people in turn that are going to be successful in that same manner. So if I said one word, I would say, entrepreneur, somebody who is really able to take on that business as their own.
All right, so I'm a young person and I'm thinking about, my future career options. What advice would you give me? Because, you know, I might be thinking about a career or taking a role in a job, and I might be thinking about sales. I might be thinking I'm just going to sell something, or I might be producing a product, so I'm going to be making something. But when you bring up the idea of being entrepreneurial, that creates a different kind of vision, if you will.
Right.
So for young people, what advice do you have for them?
Yeah, and I think that's right, because to me the answer to that question is passion.
Mm.
Because to be an entrepreneur, or to take on that business as your own, you need to find out what you're passionate about, and that's not necessarily an easy thing to do. You might have to try three things before you figure out what you're passionate about. I was very fortunate that I knew what I was passionate about from an early age, but find your passion, because that's where the future's unlimited if you can find your passion.
Wow. So last question for you today. How do you find your passion? Why are you so passionate about what you do?
You know, I've been very fortunate. We've had great customers, we've had great employees, and we've been able to really get engaged with our community. And that's where my passion comes from. I love, to work with the people that I get to work with. I love that we have customers that have been with us for 25 years. I love that we've been able to really get involved with our community and help our community in a variety of ways. So that's all those things really drive my passion.
Wow. So really it is taking those people skills that you have and being able to serve others.
Definitely.
Well, Tom,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your insights.
Thanks, Michelle.